back. I was in Texas for a week, and while I was down there, I flew into Houston and I stopped by this really cool guitar store called Fuller's Vintage Guitars. Well, it might be just called Fuller's Guitars now, I don't remember. Anyway, I wanted to stop there because according to their website, they had a big selection of Nationals in there, and I really just wanted to see them all and hold them and feel them and touch them, and they did have a lot of nice Nationals in there. They had a tricone in there that just sounded unbelievably beautiful. Not really anything like a single cone resonator. It was just warm, a lot of overtones. It just sounded amazing. I was blown away by it. The single cones, they all sounded great. I didn't feel like they were any louder than the second one that I made, but maybe a little different. I'd like to try them side by side, but I haven't had a chance to. Everybody that worked there was awesome. I think we just bought some t-shirts and some slides and a mug, and I don't know, we just bought some stuff because they were just such great people. I wasn't really there to buy a guitar, but I really liked them. So anyway, if you're ever in Houston, stop by this Fuller's Guitar and check out these Nationals. They're just beautiful. They've got a lot of them. Let's see, I did a ton of work to the CAD plans this last week. I'm really just honing in on all the fine little minute details. I changed the tabs again, the bend over tabs again. I'm going to get into that here in a little bit, but I feel like we're making good progress. Okay, speaking of progress, let's get going. We got to get that cover plate finished. I got to make a new handle for that one. I think it was overwhelming. Everybody liked the copper, not everybody, but it was definitely overwhelming. The copper tailpiece and the copper handle on the brass cover plate seemed to be by far the most popular choice. So I think that's probably what we're going to go with there. So I got to make a better handle, and I'll explain that in a minute. You'll see why. Yeah, so we got to do that. I got to finish that copper bridge because it doesn't have any of the holes for the strings in it and the slots. There's a lot of work to do to that copper bridge, so let's try and get all that stuff done right now and then get ready to string this thing up and play it. Well, that's a sharp bit. Junk. That's even more or less sharp. Okay, that's done until I decide I want to change it some more. Actually, I really like that. It's cool with the little holes in between. It just added a lot of detail that it needed. I was kind of thinking I might do 2 more little holes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way around this outside rim. Anyway, for now, I'm really happy with how that looks. That came out great. Okay, if you guys remember, I had made that copper handle to go with the copper tailpiece on the brass cover plate. That's a mouthful. What I realized was the reason that tailpiece looks so amazing is because it's actually bronze, it's not copper, and the bronze looks much richer and warmer and nicer than the copper does. So I need to make a bronze handle to go with the bronze tailpiece so that the bronze has a fighting chance to see if we want to use that in the final design or not. So here we go, let's make a bronze handle. Well, I think we can call that about 92% done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. I think it's going to come out perfect in the end when I really work on it a little bit more. You'll notice I made it shorter. I cut it down because I thought these ones just come up too far onto the cover plate. So we shortened it up. Okay, great news. I've stepped my game up to a pneumatic grease gun because we're not some too-big guitar shop. Actually, we are. Okay, anyway, we have a pneumatic grease gun. I don't know how it works. It's science, magic, fairy dust stuff. Let's see if this thing will bend this cover plate. Oh. That is not how that went. What are you talking about? It was easy. That was not easy. I thought pneumatic grease gun was the bomb. Yeah, literally, it was the bomb. It blew up. Well, come on, it was, no. All kidding aside, that pneumatic grease gun, I could never ever get the air out of it and get it primed. I got it working a couple of times. It wouldn't stay working. I mean, I watched 15, 20 videos on how to get the air out. And those darn YouTubers, they make everything seem so simple. Like, just do this and this and this and blah, and you're done. It works great. Man, those YouTubers are so misleading. I don't know how you guys watch this stuff. Okay, yeah, I ended up using my hand one again because I couldn't get the pneumatic one to work. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I guess I got some learning to do. Don't know. Never got it to work. So, yeah, that was a big waste of time. That was 4 hours. Literally 4 hours, a whole evening, just totally killed trying to make that pneumatic one work. Okay, I think the cover plate's domed though, so we're good. Let's get it out of this form and see how it looks. That appears to have worked really well. Okay, so where are we in life here? So the cover plate, it's a little higher polish than the body right now, so it doesn't match perfectly, but that's kind of where we're at right now with the look of it. I think I like this brass handle better than the bronze handle. It's pretty funny, I just subjected you guys to making one of these things in the video, and now I feel like I'm probably not going to use it. It looks like something like that. It looks something like that. It's too much to me. I feel like it's just too much. I think the brass one is just better. That just seems like it's too in your face for me. That one, it's too shouty. The brass one though, I feel like the brass one's not too shouty. and it's not too much of that bronze, and I think this is going to come together nicely when I get it. Yeah, anyway, you guys get the idea. We need strings. Now, before we do strings, let's just talk CAD really quick. Okay, I have spent some serious CAD time lately trying to get all of these three models that you kind of see right here finalized. So this is the 14th fret F-hole version, kind of like the first two I built out of steel. So obviously this could be brass, stainless, mild, whatever it is. The brass one that we're building now, the cutaway version, it's pretty much finalized. I'm really happy with it. And that was really easy to just convert into a non-cutaway 12 fret version with the grills, not the F-holes. I feel like these three are very, very well thought through. Design-wise, all the details are there. Everything is good to go. I've moved on to kind of finalizing these cut files that you would send a CNC type place. And so that would just be one simple DXF file, send it to the metal cutter, boom, they cut it, send it back. If anybody wants any of these cut for them so they can build, just let me know and I'll get them cut for you and I can send them to you. And I'll just get a quote from the metal place and we'll figure out what the cost is. The cover plates, I've made a bunch of cover plate designs, and you can see I've added the handles to the cut file so that those are way easier to make. I've been working on some template type stuff, and this is going to be cut out of 3/8 thick mild steel so that I have just some really permanent solid templates. The Corian ones are great if you're just doing one build. The Corian ones are great. You don't need these big, gnarly templates. You'll see I've built that hydroforming jig into the 14 fret template. The goal with these is that I want this edge to be much sharper and crisper on the bend over. I've redone the tabs again. Once again, I've redone these tabs. So the bend over will probably happen somewhere way back in this range, somewhere back there. So I'll have a solid lip all the way around the whole guitar. Like you can see it right here on this National top that I have, how they do their edge. And honestly, they looked great. Like when I was looking inside them at Fuller Guitar, that little edge they have is really the key to getting it looking so nice. So yeah, I want to do the headstock logo different. I want to inlay the 92 into the headstocks. So I'm going to get a pile of 9s and 2s cut out for me. I don't want to do the Electroform decals anymore. Mostly because the Electroform decals, I didn't feel like they were permanent unless you lacquered them in. I don't want to lacquer on these necks that much anymore. I like the feel of the oil finish way better, like the hand-rubbed oil finish. I think the next one, we're gonna see a fourth one over here pretty soon, and I want to prototype a parlor size. And then the other thing you're probably gonna see me do is every one of these models is just gonna get a layout for a 12 string. Just some minor subtle things to make a 12 string version of each one in case for some reason somebody ever wants a 12 string. I think I'd like to have that ready to go. Because I have the ability to do all this stuff in CAD and lay it out like this, any of these can be made any scale length. It's a pick and choose kind of thing. It's not hard for me to develop one-offs or custom things given the ability to lay it out like this and get this stuff laser cut easily. So I'm making good progress. I'm moving forward here and I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, before we can string this thing up, we need to get the tail piece sorted out. We need to do the bead rolling where the balls of the strings go underneath and slide into the slots, and there's a lip on the front that the string rides on. We got to get this little tail piece sorted out and attached, and then we can start focusing on putting the strings on. I'm not sure if the bead roller or the hydroforming tool is my favorite tool. They're both, I like them both a whole lot. That's such a cool thing. Okay. Oh yeah. It looks fat to me all of a sudden. I think we're gonna maybe shave it down where I drew those lines on there. You know, the reason it's shorter is because this distance on the 12 fret version is much smaller than the distance on the 14 fret version. So it sort of just dictates that this be a shorter tailpiece. But now it just looks really fat because it's so short. I mean, great personality, but it's fat. I guess I could have read the constructions and see how you're supposed to use this, but I'm just rubbing it in. Interesting result. What's even more interesting is that I'm just doing it right on this bridge instead of a test piece. But hey, that's how we live sometimes. Well, that was interesting. Really what I'm after is that nice kind of bright, brassy, not brassy, I don't know. It's just a warm tone. This is dull and drab. So I'm still struggling with getting the color of this, but I think I've figured out a technique I'm kind of liking. Well, what I'm finding is working well, and I'm starting to like the color I'm getting, is just slowly apply some heat to this thing, cool it down, you know, apply some more heat, cool it down. I've found if you apply too much heat, it goes to a light color, but a light amount of heat, and it turns out to just darken everything up and starting to be a color I'm starting to like. That one was pretty aggressive. I think it's going to be okay. Okay. Oh, it's hot. I wonder why. Well, I wasn't a fan of the gold tuners at all, so those had to go. So I got these ones on. These are like those tulip. Actually, I really like those on there. Those look great. I'm really tempted to put strings on this thing, but the problem I'm having is every time I touch the bare wood on this neck, I just make it dirty because my hands always look dirty. Well, they're always dirty. That's why they look dirty. And so I think before I go and do that and put strings on and just make a mess out of this neck, I think we might as well just put the finish on the neck. Well, that was a pretty good run. I was hoping to play it this episode, but it just didn't happen. I don't think there's much to wrap up. All that was pretty self-explanatory stuff. I'm liking this tail piece. It matches the fretboard really nicely. It kind of ties in really nice with that. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it looks really good. I think it's going to come together nice. I got some cleanup to do on the binding edge, and we're going to oil this neck, and then we're going to play it for sure. Like, it's not going to take anything for me to get this thing ready to play for the next episode. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments and support. See you guys next time.